the most luxurious SUV that money can buy. It's what's inside that counts. We're gonna be going up here off-roading. Oh yes. The title and thumbnail of this video are not clickbait. This is a big day. I actually found a car that I want to replace Leslie's Tesla Model X with. It's my wife. I want to get her the most luxurious SUV that's also an electric car that money can buy. And today I went on the first drive, like the first drive that anybody can go on in this car, and it's right here. Are you ready to see this? This is the car that we're gonna switch over to. The Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. I'm already pretty much convinced, but after I show you all of the things and we do everything, I will really make the decision. So get ready, Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. This is the car that we're gonna get. So this is it. This is the inside of the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. That's a lot of acronyms. I've actually shown this in a video before. I was in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I went and saw where they make these vehicles. I didn't get to go inside of the vehicle, but I saw them make the batteries. I saw how they do the marriage, where the cars come together. And I gotta be honest, when I saw the exterior, I wasn't super impressed, and Leslie feels the same way. It kind of looks like a minivan. This will be the largest SUV EV that Mercedes-Benz makes, at least for the foreseeable future. So there's only so much you can do to keep the car aerodynamic so that it gets good range. So it does kind of look like a minivan. But once you get inside, oh my goodness. First of all, this is Mercedes-Benz. It's no secret that they know how to make interiors, they know how to do luxury, and I feel like they've finally honed in a little bit what it takes to make a luxury inside of an EV. EQS sedan, when it first came out, had way too many buttons. There's all these buttons everywhere. Yeah, you have this hyper screen that's beautiful, but you also had a bunch of buttons. In this car, they've done away with a lot of the buttons and mostly made it so that you have the hyper screen that's a touchscreen where you can touch everything. Finally, it's intuitive. You have this beautiful screen with great navigation and also voice commands that are good. But what really makes this luxurious is we go back to the seats. Remember a few years ago, we cut open the Mercedes-Benz S-Class seat in Germany, in Stuttgart, and we cut it open to find the hot stone massage. We found the heated seats, we found the cooling seats. Well, right here, I've got a button that I can push, and I just turned on the cooling seats. And you can also have that option in the passenger side, and you can have it in the rear. So air-cooled seats. We live in southern Utah where it is super, super hot, like 115 degrees Fahrenheit, consistently throughout the summer. And so having air-cooled seats is a really big thing, but it also has the massage seats, it has the heated seats. But not only that, the leather inside of these seats is premium quality, and it's been one of the biggest knocks on Tesla for years, and I think it's well deserved. The Tesla seats are kind of trash. They're not very good. Yes, the white seats hold up very well in the Tesla Model X, and they still are white after all these years, but they're not super comfortable. They don't breathe very well. And so Mercedes-Benz knows how to make good high quality seats. The other thing that I love that's very luxurious is the light bar that goes throughout the entire car. And you can have it set based off of certain things. If you're driving and you're accelerating really fast, it'll change colors. If you're going down a hill and it's regenerative braking, it can change colors. When you go off-roading and you put it into off-road mode, it'll also change the colors, and you can also customize that and have it be a set color. You can even turn off the colors if you want to. But the ambient lighting and the light bar really just makes it feel more premium. Another thing, look at this. It's crazy that in 2022, this is a luxurious thing, but this car has a round steering wheel. You've seen the Tesla Model X and Model S that you get right now. They don't even have a round steering wheel. I personally like the round steering wheel. There's also been a lot of reports with the Teslas right now that all of the leather is coming off on one spot because everybody's putting a bunch of pressure on it when they turn it. A round steering wheel just makes so much more sense, and it feels so luxurious and nice while I'm driving. I'm blown away with how smooth of a ride it is, and a lot of that has to do with the air suspension. But the other thing that I love is that the noise in here is incredibly quiet. Mercedes-Benz has gone to extensive steps in order to have sound dampening material in the doors, in the wheel wells, in the windows. I'm not even sure all the things that they're doing, but it is a silent ride. The only thing that I hear right now is the air blowing from my air-cooled seats, and even that's not very loud. The Tesla Model X has this giant windshield that goes all the way up, which is beautiful when you're driving through a canyon, but my wife does not really like the sun. we live in a very sunny place. And so she's always wearing her sunglasses and she always has like the visor down in the Tesla Model X. So this is why I think this car is perfect for her and for me, because sometimes I do like it open and I do like to have the sun coming in. With this EQS SUV, you get the best of both worlds. You do have a glass roof, but it's covered by like this shade material that's on here. You can just take your finger and run it up here. You don't even really have to touch it. And then check it out. So now the front and the back both has beautiful views out at the top. And if this doesn't do it for you, you can slide your finger again and check it out. We got an actual sunroof. That's right, fresh air. It's been a long time since I've had a car that has a real sunroof. You have options with the EQS SUV, or you can just say, bye-bye, maybe I don't want this on. Do you see what I see in front of the car? That is a proper heads-up display telling me the miles per hour, telling me if I'm on autopilot or auto assist, whatever they call it at Mercedes-Benz. And then it also will show me some of the routes and different information. I don't know how the engineers do it, but it seems like it's in the perfect spot, almost like it's like 40 feet ahead of me. I know I've said there's a lot of negatives about the exterior, but there are also some positives. I actually do like the front of this car. This Mercedes logo does light up and looks really cool, especially at night. And then they have these little Mercedes logos all over. I can't remember how many there are, but there's like over 100 of these stars that go all throughout it. And then the light bar that goes all the way across. I've heard some other YouTubers say that this is a big negative that people don't like about the EQS, and so now that's gonna spill over to the EQS SUV, but I actually really like it. I think it looks really good and really unique at nighttime. And if you're going to get an electric car, you want it to be as unique as possible, just because you don't want it to look like all the other gas cars on the road. And I think the light bar helps that a lot. So the front is definitely good, but there are some negatives that we need to talk about with this vehicle. This trunk is massive. Usually you have a big motor that's inside of here. With a gas car, you need that. But with an electric car, you don't need that, but yet there's no frunk inside of here. This is all useless space right here. They have a bunch of components for the electric car in there, and you're not even supposed to open this hood unless it's some kind of emergency. In fact, come over on this side. If you ever run out of fluid, like fluid for your windshield wipers, it's actually right in here. Like, why even have this? So strange. I mean, honestly, I don't even know how to fill up the washer fluid in my Teslas, any of them. I've never done it, but this trunk is ginormous. The front of this car is huge, and it's a crying shame that there's no frunk inside of here. I'd love to store stuff inside of the frunk of an electric car. One negative that I don't quite understand is that it does have USB ports right here to charge your devices. I plugged in my drone to give it some extra juice for the next 20 minutes so that I can get it back up in the air. And the car is telling me I'm drawing too much power. Please remove and check the USB device. That seems like a really strange thing. Okay, I found the solution and it's very interesting. So these two USB ports that are right here next to the drink holder, they only go up to, I think, 100 watts. So they have a limitation of how much energy can come out of them. But there are more USB-C outlets down underneath the dashboard that have apparently unlimited power and can handle laptops and can handle a drone. In the trunk, there's quite a bit of space, a nice privacy cover that does close up, and there's a little bit of space under here for some things, but really, this is big, and the seats can go down. You could probably even put the seats down and put a bed in here and sleep if you wanted to go camping, which is kind of fun to do in an EV. The back seat of the car is really, really comfortable with the leather, with this headrest right here that is incredibly soft material that's over the regular headrest. Oh, let's see. Yep, there we go. Oh my gosh, what in the world? There's like a little iPad inside of here. Wow, what does this do? Oh, you can put your phone right there. Maybe it charges it, maybe it doesn't. And then back here are all of the different controls also, with a little charge port. This version has carbon fiber. The sound system is incredibly good inside of here. The leather inside of this car is so incredibly nice. Perforated, the headrest is nice. Here are the cooled seats right there, and then there's the heated seats. Right now I have the heated seats and the cooled seats on at the same time. Kind of odd. Look at that turning radius right there. Boom! 4 wheels turning at the same time. Oh, I love it.
You have reached your destination.
This is inside of a parking garage right now, and you get a feel for what it's like at nighttime with the ambient lights that go all throughout it. They're aligned on the seats right here. They're all along the wall. I mean, you can turn them off if you really don't like them, but how could you not like this? It feels luxurious. Whoa. Right now I'm driving up the canyon in Colorado, which if you haven't been to Denver, Colorado, it's basically in the plains. That's why in the movie Dumb and Dumber, they're like, I expected the Rocky Mountains to be a lot rockier than this. Right now I'm heading up to an off-road track that is up by Idaho Springs, so up in the mountains by Winter Park. You climb up the mountains and you drive through the mountains for a while. Well, the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV is handling the uphill like a boss. It is incredibly silent in here, like quietest I've ever heard inside of a car. And especially when I'm heading up a mountain, which is great. When I want to accelerate fast, I can. Right now, I have it on active driving. I've been using Mercedes-Benz version of autopilot while I've been on the highway, and it works really, really well. I've used it a few times over the last few years when testing Mercedes-Benz electric cars, and I can definitely tell that it's improved a lot. There are cameras somewhere inside of the car here that watch my eyes and look to make sure that I'm paying attention to the road. Of the EQS SUV, there are 3 different levels. This is the lowest end, the 2-wheel drive. It doesn't have the hyper screen that goes all the way over on the passenger side. But what's cool is when they do have the hyper screen, the person that's sitting in the passenger seat can watch things on there, like videos. But when the driver looks over at that hyper screen, the cameras are smart enough to know that the driver's looking at it, and it dims the video, it dims the screen on the right side. Super smart. One of the things I love about driving an electric car is that you just sneak up on wildlife. I've had so many deer that are just on the side of the road that don't even see me coming, don't even hear me coming until the last second they look over at me. Yeah, you're helping the planet when it comes to exhaust and emissions, but you're also helping nature by being quiet and silent out here. Right now I'm up in the mountains of Colorado. I just went on a super scenic drive to get up here, and we're going to go on an off-road track to show some of the off-road capabilities of the EQS SUV. This is the 4MATIC, so it has all-wheel drive. We're gonna be going up here in the hills on some courses that usually ATVs go on. It would probably not something I would do if I bought this car, but these ones aren't mine, so we can test them off-roads. A couple of things to point out with the off-road capabilities of the EQS SUV is that it does have rear wheel steering. 4.5 degrees is what's standard on all of the EQS SUVs, but you get the optional 10 degrees back wheel turn, which is quite a bit. There's a steep turn with all 4 wheels turning, and now it's going to go down this steep hill. Look at the back come up off the ground right there. Totally off the ground. And then there it goes, a sharp turn around the corner, another sharp turn around that tree. It's actually a pretty long vehicle. I don't think it's as long as the EQS sedan, but it's pretty long, but it makes it not feel as long when you have that 4-wheel turning, similar to what you see in the Hummer EV, but the Hummer EV is just massive. Oh yes, that was cool. Did you see that thing bouncing up there? Oh my gosh. It also has air suspension, and it raised up an extra inch for the off-roading, so it has 9 inches of clearance. I would say the back wheel is off the ground maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet. Right now, And this air suspension is doing its job. It's keeping it safe. This isn't a controlled environment, so I wouldn't recommend that you do this, but it's helpful for us to test this thing and show you the extreme levels of what these vehicles can do so that you know that you can go off-road, and hopefully you're doing much smaller things than this and have a professional driver in there. But it is impressive to see an SUV that you're gonna be driving around town primarily to take kids to school, to get groceries, but it does have these capabilities where it can drive off-road and get that much off the ground. Okay, go ahead and go forward. Now that we're in off-road mode and we are actually off-road up in the mountains, let me show you what some of the screens look like. So on this one, we've chosen to use the front and the underneath video cameras. They're marked together and the car looks like it's invisible and it shows you where you're going. I mean, you can pull up the cameras and move the car virtually and see all of your obstacles around you. This is outside of where we're at right now, and it goes all the way around. And this one's probably my favorite. You have the bird's eye view to see all of your different obstacles and rocks around you, and then you have the low front camera so you can see everything in front of you. So right now we are on a 20% decline on this hill. That's pretty steep. And then we're 2 degrees to the right. The steering wheel is turned at 21 degrees, and then over here you can see that 21 degrees, the front wheels are turned like that, and the back wheels are turned like that. You have the tire pressures, the PSI, and then you have the tire temperature. This one over here, why is he so cold compared to these guys? Who knows, but 77 degrees. And then you have the position that we're at right now. So if you put that into Google Maps, you'll find exactly where I'm at right now filming this video. And then here's your suspension and like how much pressure and torque is on each one of the shocks for the 4 wheels. And then the main screen where the driver is has the most options of them all. Now this is the biggest problem I have with this car, and it's more than just this car. It's the same thing with Ford, it's the same thing with GM and Chevy. It's the traditional dealership network. It is a complete joke. It's been around for years and years and years. I'm in Colorado right now, and yesterday I was driving down the street and there was this big building that said Colorado Automotive Dealer Association. I went to their website, I pull it up, and it's a bunch of dealers that get together and they go and they lobby 2 senators, and this thing's been around since 1930. It's an old, antiquated system, and Tesla has kind of changed the game and made us all realize that, guess what? We don't need the dealers to go and mark these cars up. So I am going to put an order on this car, and I'm going to try to buy one of these vehicles for Leslie. But if the dealer does what I've heard in the media a lot of times and marks the car up $50,000 above MSRP or even $20,000 above MSRP, I'm not gonna buy this car. Now, some people from the dealers will just say, hey, it's supply and demand, it's the market, and so if the prices are higher, that's what people are willing to pay, and that's just what it is. Well, guess what? The fastest growing electric car company and the market leader in electric cars doesn't do that. They charge everybody the same amount. If you buy a Tesla and all of a sudden it's worth $20,000 more, then the person that bought it should be able to go and sell it and make that money. That's kind of the way Tesla feels about it. But with these traditional dealerships, Mercedes-Benz as a company, they don't have any say over what these individual franchises in America do. So they sell the car to the franchise, and then the franchise can say, I'm gonna charge $50,000 more. Oh, and guess what? You can't sell it within a year. And they put all these weird rules on it, so the local dealers are making so much money. So anyway, that's one of my biggest beefs. It has nothing to do with the quality of this car or the range of the car or the interior. It's just the old antiquated system that just needs to die. Franchise model is so bad. And dealers, I know you've been doing it for a lot of time and you've been making a lot of money. Good for you, but hopefully this model is going to end and it can be more fair for the actual consumer, because it just doesn't feel good. And the last thing that is a negative with having this is I've always charged with Teslas and Tesla superchargers. I have over 300,000 free supercharging miles, so me and my family never have to pay for charging when we're on the road. Now, we don't have the Tesla supercharger network, which it isn't a perfect network, but it's definitely the best out of all electric cars. So this is where you charge. It's a place called Electrify America, and it's fast chargers, but unfortunately, this is what you see a lot when you go to the Electrify America. The maximum power of this charger has been temporarily reduced in order to improve service and perform an update. Charger unavailable, did you see that? charger unavailable. There's been so many reports about Electrify America. This is my first time ever coming to one, and I think it's interesting that it's actually doesn't work. This one seems like it works. And to be fair, sometimes the Tesla superchargers are out also, but it does seem to be a very common thing. It's going to be a change not having the Tesla supercharger network. What are road trips gonna be like? I don't know. I know the road trips are gonna be very, very comfortable, but are there gonna be chargers in all the places that I need to go to? There probably will. I just need to get used to it. I have a bit of range anxiety. And maybe some of you that have a non-Tesla, let me know in the comments, what's your experience on road trips? Because it's kind of something that I wanna know before I buy a non-Tesla. I don't even know where the charger is. Charger port, where are you? Haha, there it is. I've never done this before. Maybe you push the button. That's what you do with the Tesla. Is there a trick? Do you know?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. You just have to press harder. It does work. Oh, boom. Okay. Connecting to vehicle, so it's actually doing something. Initiating charge. We already were pretty charged. We're 90% full, so we don't really need a fast charge, but it does say it is charging right now at 34 kilowatts, and it'll take 18 minutes to get fully charged. When you're at 90%, it does charge slower, but this is a fast charger, over 150 kilowatts. So it works. As much as I was disappointed that one of them was broken, the other one works just fine and it's charging. I just plugged it in. I didn't have to like swipe a credit card or anything. It talked to the car right away, so that's actually pretty easy, just as easy as charging a Tesla. From what I understand, with buying this car, I think it's for the first 2 years, for the first 30 minutes of charging at an Electrify America charger, you get free charging. So you don't have to pay what it is. It's kind of like an included thing with the car. That's the way I understand it, which is pretty good. 30 minutes gets you a lot of juice, especially if you're close to zero. You can charge it up to, I'm guessing like 70, 75% in 30 minutes. So we're good. I don't need to charge this too much. It works. I'm not as scared as I was before. Maybe this will work okay, as long as there's lots of Electrify Americas around the country, which I think there are. There's probably a lot. We're gonna get the two-wheel drive option because it has around 300 miles range when it's fully charged. At least that's what it's telling me here when it's fully charged. Could be different when it comes out. I don't know if they know the exact specs yet, which I know isn't close to 400 like my car has, but Leslie's Model X right now, it's around 240 miles range. So it definitely is a lot more than that. And her range is not very accurate. It depletes so fast. The other thing is price. This is a premium electric car. How much is it gonna cost? Well, from what I understand, this version, the lowest cost version, there's 3 versions. The lowest cost I think starts at 105,000 US dollars. So yeah, it's definitely pricey. And then there's a few options that we would get that would probably push it up a little bit. So it's going to be pretty comparable with what you would spend for a Tesla Model X. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love the Tesla Model X. I love the Falcon Wing doors. I love the look of it. I love the speed of it. One of the things that's gonna take some getting used to is actually using the touchscreen because it's so intuitive and nice on the Tesla Model X. And this one is a little bit quirky. It's gotten better, but it's still not the same level as what Tesla is. In an ideal scenario, I would say that we would get an electric Mercedes-Benz that maybe has the G-Wagon looks, the electric G-Wagon. I've read a few things about that possibly coming out in the future. That would probably be Leslie's dream scenario, but hey, we gotta get the best that we can get right now, and I think it's going to be this. So, no, we have not bought it yet. We are going to put an order in, and hopefully it works out, so stay tuned over the next few months. If it works out, great. If something happens where it doesn't work out, I'll also tell you. But my first ride impressions are fantastic car, the most comfortable electric SUV that I've ever driven. And I wanna be clear too, Mercedes-Benz did pay for my travel to get out here, but they are not sponsoring this video. They did not tell me what to say in this video. And if we do buy a Mercedes-Benz, we are buying it. They are not giving us a car for free. So we can talk about it however we want to, the good and the bad and all of it. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Are we crazy? Do you like the looks of this car? Do you think it's a good one? And I'll be reading the comments. Thanks for watching. I can't reach it.